Hi, this is Mayhem News Live, and this is the Man in Black, aka T Man Lives. This is my third try to do this video. Had some problem with the mic on the second try, and some other stuff. So, been a lot of talk about on Destiny the server issue, and their Bungie help literally gets inundated with tweets. We'll look at that in a minute. But this is a search that I did. Basically. Problems during Destiny during Trials of Osiris, and you can look down here. You can see where they canceled it at one time, 2 or 3 times actually. But when Friday hits at noon Central Time, that's where I'm at, Central Time. Literally the servers become poop. And a lot of people say, well, I don't understand why people play Crucible all the time. Yeah, but there's a lot of people out there in a very large group that does not play Destiny unless it's either Trials of Osiris. That's pretty much the only time they play. So pretty much from Friday at noon Central Time to Tuesday morning at either 3 or 4, depending on the time of the year, you're going to be hit with a multitude of animal errors and stuff like that. I have some tips that we're going to share to help you kind of combat that a little bit. It's not going to completely get rid of it, but it's going to help you. But as you can see, there's all kind of complaints. I'm recording this on my phone, so that's why you see the screen moving, and it's kind of weird upside down. But anyway, or straight up and down. But you can see, especially this one right here. This is on the Bungie forums. People are getting booted from Trials of Osiris, but it's not just Trials of Osiris that are lagging, and it's not. I had one guy try to tell me it was PvE causing Trials to lag, and I said no. PvE is always active, so there's no pull on the server any harder than it normally does. When Trials activate, this is when you get all these errors. You get booted. You ever notice that everybody gets booted from Trials? They're always 8-0. You ever notice that? It's kind of a weird thing, but yeah, they're always 8-0. Yeah. Anyway, but you can see there's multiple mashable. It's got rules. It's amazing that places like Forbes actually talks about Destiny. It's kind of cool. But there's just page after page. There's page after pages of people having problems. Why can't I stay? You get kicked from. And I mean, you got to remember, this is not like playing Call of Duty, where you're hooked to the server for 10 minutes. This game is live. This game literally is live 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. When you're in an area with someone, you're in a server, that server is live. Everything that's going on in that server, is live. It's not, playing for 10 minutes and going back to a menu. And that's what people don't realize, well, why do you have to take it down for maintenance? Or why do you have to have maintenance on? Well, when you bitch and raise hell on Twitter and everywhere else that, hey, I can't do something. Well, they can't just, upload a hotfix sometimes. Sometimes they have to actually shut it down. Because you got to think, when they're in there coding, they're literally in the fabric of this game. If they were coding while you were trying to play, you'd be pretty much pissed off because stuff could get deleted. Oh, sorry. If you notice the screen goes black and I'm still talking, the screensaver on my phone sometimes goes on. But you can notice, you can look at these things. They're just continually, they're forever. Now we're going to switch over. I'm going to switch over to Twitter. And yeah, the stupidity is real. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go over to I'm going to show you my If you want to follow me on Twitter, that's the Man in Black Lives. That's TMIBLIVES. You can also follow my wife. That's at TWibRules. That's TWIBRULZ. She is on the Twitter page a lot. She answers a lot of questions. There's actually people who've told her, hey, we're just going to ask you because the other people don't answer. But as you can see, I have a search and I've added it. I'm using Twiddle for Twitter. It's similar to TweetDeck where you can put different columns, and you can, as you can see here, you can. But I'll show you one of the main things that made me do this video, and there's a guy that literally, where's it at here? We'll go down here for a few seconds here. He literally made a statement, and my wife retweeted it, is why I actually saw it. On July 15th, I'm not really comfortable with the name, but the Dust666 says, Bungie help, no server issues all week until Shitty Trials comes back on. Can't wait to Iron Banner on Tuesday. That'll be great. I did speak to a guy who on Google Plus that said he plays all week. He has to play during the week even though he works, because starting Friday, the minute Trials is active, he can't play. He said, I've played during Iron Banner. He said, I played during Iron Banner, and he said, I don't have any problems. I don't know why. I think maybe there's maybe a little less people that play Iron Banner. But you get told by usually some little kid, but Trials is all the game's about. Well, if Trials is all it's about, then why are they doing a DLC on Iron Banner pretty much? Because Lord Saladin is actually over Iron Banner, and that's what the new DLC coming, Rise of Iron, is all about, Iron Banner. So now I think in August some of these issues will disappear. I don't think they'll go away completely, but some of them will. The reason why I say that, for you that still have a 360 or a PS3 and have been under a rock for the last 2 months, in August you will no longer be able to access Iron Banner, Trials of Osiris, and extra activities on Destiny. They are cutting that off for legacy consoles or last gen. And for those that were around when the 360 came out, we all knew it was going to happen. The minute they started pulling back the access to indie games and they started shutting down certain game access, it was going to happen. Bungie's not the only one. You'll start seeing them like rats jumping off a sinking ship. They'll start pulling their online coverage, their online assistance. And, after August, they're not going to do any more updates, as far as I know, for the 360 version or the PS3 version. And they're going to split those off. So if you play on 360 and you have an Xbox One, the character on 360 will not progress your one on Xbox One. Same thing with PlayStation. So say you do a bunch of stuff on PS4 and you say, well, I'm going to jump over here on my friends and play with their own PS3 or the Xbox 360 from the Xbox One. Those characters will not be progressed because they separate them. They're going to split off now. And eventually that line's probably going to be severed completely, because the Xbox basically, like I said, if you see the screen go dark, I'm still here. It's just my screensaver. But we can go down, and you can see, for those of you that don't know, Bungie Help does not answer tweets. There are some people that with Bungie that answer tweets on here, if they're tagged. That's Cosmo, Deej, but you pretty much have to have a YouTube channel with at least 2 million subscribers for that to happen. And I'm not putting them down because of that, because, hey, those people with 2 million subscribers, those people that have 2 million subscribers can actually hurt them, because YouTube subscribers tend to follow the person. So if that person with 2 million subscribers says, well, Bungie sucks and so does Destiny, then some of the lemmings will actually not play Destiny because of that YouTuber. So they do answer, but it's usually not. And if they do answer a random person, it's literally just a rarity. But they do read their tweets. So what happens is when they see a problem that is listed, I'm pretty sure there's probably some kind of algorithm that when a problem is listed or spoken of more than once, to a certain point, you can immediately switch over to their timeline where they're actually speaking, and they'll say, hey, we know we're having problems with this, we're working on it. But that's what they use this for. They don't, if you want to talk to Bungie or an administrator or somebody, it's best to go to the forum, because they do actually answer stuff on there. And the way to tell if it's actually Bungie is they will have a Bungie tag by their name. I think it's got hashtags around it, I think. I'm not sure, but I know they'll have Bungie out.
You'll be able to tell.
Yeah, they'll be verified by Bungie. It'll have Bungie, and they're either an admin, they're either or they actually could be some of the developer team. They actually talk to you on there. But you see people talking about multiple eras. If you look down this timeline, people getting kicked out. Of course, you see, people, I don't know what haters have to do with talking about dick, but apparently a lot of them like to tell people to, do things to theirs. Kind of, that's just a common, but you can look at here, people are fussing, like weasel areas all night. For those of you who don't know, weasel areas, there are certain areas that are listed under local networking issues. And these are my tips for getting around those. If you get anything like weasel, baboon, several others, you can actually find all this on Bungie.net. Those are local errors, which means if you don't have a $150 gaming router, which most people don't, those gaming routers actually come with software that allows the machine to schedule wiping the cache. The best way to do it is to actually unplug your router and your modem for 30 seconds to a minute, plug it back up, let them repower up, let them reconnect to the internet, then connect your Xbox, turn it on. And that should clear up the issues that you're having. Oops, sorry. It's not going to completely stop it. And I would say if you play more than an hour, 2 hours a day, and you play every day, I would do it at least once a week. Now, I do mine 2 times a week because I have 2 Xboxes. So, that's the best way to do it. It's going to clear a lot of issues up. Especially if you get... and me and my wife have noticed that when you change characters, you tend to get kicked out more. Or if you have 2 accounts like we do. Yes, I have 2 accounts that I play Destiny on. Sometimes that happens. I don't know if it has something to do with Xbox Live or what. But that's one of the main things is clear your cache. Now there's 2 times that you're obviously going to get issues no matter what. That is when reset takes place, usually within the first 2 or 3 hours of reset, up until about noon the next day. It tends to be a little, anytime there's an update, usually for about 6 hours, the servers are kind of, or when Trials starts, or if Trials is starting and Iron Banner is going on as well. So that's just, but you can look on these timelines. You could literally sit here and watch this for hours upon hours and see. Here's another guy, Beaver, Coconut, Anteater. Well, Anteater is definitely one for your local internet. Now I haven't seen Beaver or Coconut, so I haven't looked them up yet, but. You can take us as an example. I have Charter internet. PC Magazine listed Charter as the fastest internet in the country. I am connecting anywhere from 230 to 270, sometimes up to 300 megabits per second. And I still have issues. Also, I've seen a lot of people get kicked out of Trials, or kicked out of Crucible, because of connection. They are pretty picky about people that consistently red bar. If you know your internet's good, and you look over, that's why I check mine, and you look at the list of players and it says a red bar, I'll be honest, I back out. Because I'm not going to be red barring. Now, if you see a red bar and you check it, I usually wait like 30 seconds to a minute and then check it again and it's yellow barring. That's usually the server. But yeah, you can look at their timeline. The two guys that normally respond are usually Deej, that's DEJ underscore BNG. Yeah, DE, yeah. Oh, they can see it. I'm looking at it. They can actually see it. But these guys right here, this guy right here is their community director. He usually responds pretty often. And so does Cosmo. Now I'm going to tell you, Cosmo, when he usually responds, he's usually putting somebody in their place. Like somebody's made a bad comment toward them or something. But you can literally look at this timeline and see the minute Trials goes. Here's another one, Beetle Area, 5 times down, 10 minutes. By the way, if you don't know this, we'll talk about this tweet here. There's a guy that mentioned, okay, if you bought the Taken King after January 15th of 2015 for one console, say you bought it on 360, and now you're gonna upgrade to Xbox One, or you bought it on PS3, you're gonna update to PS4. Well, you're gonna have to repurchase the Taken King. Most developers don't give free upgrades, but Bungie did for 4 months. They allowed you to move from last gen or legacy consoles to Xbox One or PS4. So you're going to have to repurchase. Something else that's happened, now they've never actually supported game sharing for like the PS3 or PlayStation, or license sharing as it's called for Xbox, but they allowed it to happen for a while. Well, if you've been game sharing, okay, and you're going to find out that when you hook up your other account on another console, it's not going to let you play because they don't support it. And, I guess it was something they always didn't support. They just never enforced it. Well, now I have 2 Xboxes. They're in my house. They're sitting less than 20 feet away from each other. But we had to have another copy of Xbox in the version of Destiny because my wife had been game sharing off of me. Well, can't do that anymore. So free upgrades, and For a while, they were letting you update the first 2 DLCs. I have a feeling, and a lot of people are telling me that they're not allowing that anymore. So just know that you can always, you can always follow Bungie Help. It's good to watch them because you can literally go to Bungie Help's account here. No, that's Bungie. Yeah, and you get to see problems like if you get on and it says servers are not available, then you can pretty much read what's going on. Alright, also if you received an email from user research, that was a mistake. I don't know if they had a glitch in the system that sent out a bunch of emails. So and for some reason it won't go to Bungie Help's thing there. That's kind of weird. Anyway, when you hit Bungie Help, it actually goes to Bungie. There we go. But you can, you can go here. You find out a lot of useful information. Not to mention, if you have some popcorn and enjoy the stupidity, you can watch people. Yeah, when they're down, the stupidity is real. But you can go through here. They tell you about the legacy console players and stuff like that. They give you information. They tell you about issues. Before you have to search all over the place and find out what's going on. They actually talk about it. They do actually respond to tweets. It's just not directly. When a problem receives so many tweets, they will actually tweet that they're aware of it. But like I said, we try to keep you informed. Like I said, this is about the 4th, 5th time I've tried this video. But if you want to follow, us, you can actually follow me at @TMibLives and my wife at TWibRules. You can also follow the show at Mayhem News Live. But most of the time those are just post videos. Usually I talk on my main account. But so be careful out there. Make sure you but one thing I wanted to say is in August, if I was Bungie in August and all these, the servers that they had been dealing with, the last gen consoles, we're going to go basically be freed, I would take those and roll anything Crucible, anything special activity, or or some kind of whatever's going on. I'd roll it into that. That way it doesn't mix with each other. But I'm not Bungie. I wish I could have what they pay in taxes each year. But anyway, what I'm saying is I'm not Bungie, so I can suggest it, and they're going to do what they want to do. But that's what I would do. I just keep all that stuff on separate servers, and you could actually take Crucible down and still let the PvE players play. Or if you had a PvE problem, you could leave Crucible up and take PvE down. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if it works that way, but I would think you could. But who knows? Well, that's been the show, and like I said, this has been Mayhem News Live. We've been doing a Destiny, little Destiny information this morning, and I am the Man in Black, aka TMibLives, and you can follow me on Twitter. Follow the show. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And that's been the show.